Channel, the Car Guy Channel. My name is Mike Hennessy. This show is all about cars and all four car guys. Get yourself a cold beer. Get yourself a cold beer, guys, because our show is... We are smoking! I'm Mike Hennessy, and you're watching the Car Guy Channel. I have an auto repair shop. I've been in the business for over 30 years. You name it, we got it, we built it, we've done it, we do it. We love this car stuff, and I hope you guys do too. We're gonna have a lot of fun, got a lot of stuff cooking, so just stay tuned.
Richard Darling. Oh, Richard Darling.
Welcome to the Car Guy Channel. We got a show that is absolutely, spectacular. We're covering Mountain View a la carte and art down here in Mountain View. We actually closed Castro Street from El Camino Real all the way to 101 past the railroad tracks. I'm telling you, this show is absolutely spectacular. It's a two-day show. Saturday, we had just totally overflow of cars. Sunday, we got a bunch of cars, and we got a lot of really cool stuff. Sit down, get yourself a cold one, because we got a lot of car stuff to cover. Ronnie, good to have you here at the show today.
Thank you, Mr. Hennessy.
Now, you got a couple cars, and so what did you bring us today?
I brought you a 1955 white Thunderbird.
Now, you told me earlier, I thought you had this car a while, but you just bought this here not too long ago.
Yeah, I just bought it in January.
Ronnie usually brings us a DeLorean. He had a Sunbeam Tiger on the show. Ronnie likes good stuff. He has a lot of class, he's got good taste, and he picked something out that I think was fantastic. Let's go through it. 55 T-Birds are actually one of my very, very favorite of the Ford lines of cars. In 1955, they were trying to compete with the sports car market. They had people over in Europe looking for all different types of cars, the Jaguars, all sorts of cars came out, and Corvette came out very first in 1953. T-Bird said, we're going to sit back a little bit, we're going to build kind of like a luxury type sports car, and that's really what they came up with. The gentleman did an absolutely stunning restoration, and he did it at home in his garage, and Ronnie was telling me without a lift, and it's just phenomenal car to do that well. And I like the attention to detail with the cloth top and the interior. Estelle's going to get a camera in here and go through the interior of the car. Now, this happens to have an automatic, and I noticed it had power steering in the car. And there's something on the hood I'm going to talk about, but let's get the camera inside here and check this out. I love outstanding cars, and I say it on the show all the time, I love detail. And when you come to the detail of this car, there's something I'm going to point out to you that maybe not everybody's going to go ahead and catch, and I think it's okay that I caught it. I did talk to Ronnie about it. These cars only came with 6-volt systems. And if you notice that we have a 6-volt generator with a tag that says 6 volts. Now I'm going to move my finger up to the very end of the car over there. You're going to see a 6-volt battery. 6 volts, you can tell because it has 3 knobs. Got 1, 2, 3, the 3 red knobs. But actually, it's a facade. That is really a 12-volt special custom-made top that goes on that battery to make it look like a 6-volt. So this right here actually has 12 volts. The generator under the car is a 12-volt generator. And it makes this car here a really great driver, along with having power brakes. You'll see the power brake booster right up there in the very front of the battery. And then you're going to go ahead and see the power steering pump there in the front. That makes this car here a driver. Corvette never had any of those type of things until 1963. So T-Bird really kind of jumped the gun for what they call the Tri-Birds, the 3 birds. And these right here are the small cars. These are right here from 1955, 56, and 57. But underneath this hood of this car, I think is just absolutely fantastic, and the looks and the lines are just absolutely deco.
Well, I saved my pennies and I saved my dimes. Giddy up, for a ride. Before I knew there would be a time. Giddy up, for a ride. When I would buy a brand new 409.
Mike Hennessy here. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, and yourself?
Doing good. And your name?
Adam.
I already knew that, but I want them to know that. Adam's been on the show before. The car's been on the show. And part of this is I wanted to thank you today for really being here, bringing your car to this event. And you came in on Sunday, and you did some changes to the car. And I don't think the event would be really the event without your DeLorean here.
Awesome. Yep. I love bringing this car every year. It's just attention getter. What can I say?
You know, when I see these cars, I got to give a little bit of tech information. Cars I've bought and sold throughout my history of doing the car world. These motors were a 2.8 liter engine. These were the same motor through Volvo and Renault, and they were pretty fast and a pretty good durable engine. They were meant on dependability. But DeLorean only had really kind of a 2-year run, and so there are some 1983 VinTag birthdays on some of them, but technically it was a 2-year run on these cars. Now, they did have automatics, they did have sticks in them, but this car here has air conditioning in it. It has all the amenities of everything you kind of need. What makes this car extremely popular really was the movie Back to the Future, and we're going to show you a little option that was put in the car. We don't know if it works yet or not because we could be doing it before time. You never know. Let's check it out. When I see these car guys at the shows, I happen to know really quite a few of you guys that do bring them. And again, I want to thank you all for supporting the events and all the charity stuff. But when people take a car like this, well, how do you change it? Well, there's a few changes that he went ahead and made. One of them is he put in the very famous flux capacitor. And it's inside here, so you never know. We might be going on a time thing. Maybe go back to maybe when I was a baby when I only weighed about 200 pounds. I think it's really kind of what a touch. Everybody loves this car. And that's why we had to go ahead and show it to you, making it a lot of fun. I do like it when some of these guys take a little advice, even from me once in a while. But when these cars came out, they actually had raised white letter tires. So he went ahead and put some BF Goodrich TA radials in this car, which I think are pretty cool. He goes ahead and displays the poster from Back to the Future. And there is a new movie coming out this year that actually will have the DeLorean in it. And I'm telling you, it's a pretty good flick. It's going to show you car racing, car movement, head of the future. You kind of name it, a lot of really cool stuff. But it's kind of neat when you got the poster set out here. They give people really an idea. Not everybody has seen Back to the Future. Remember, we got some millennials out there that they didn't know what a flux capacitor was. Russ tells me he's not that good of an actor. He'd drive a car this green.
Well, yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining in today.
Happy to be here.
Now, what year's your Challenger?
This is a 09.
09.
2009.
Now, this thing here is one blasting car, right?
It is.
It's a family show.
It's a fun car, and it's meant to be a fun car, and it makes me smile every time I see it.
Now, have you always been, the Mopar world is kind of, it's a niche.
Yes.
And have you always been kind of a Chrysler Mopar guy?
No, I had a Pontiac GTO before this.
Oh, we're okay with that. We're okay with that.
65 goat, and drove that car for 20 years, put 250,000 miles on it. And then it was time to redo that one, and then they came up with these things. And I thought,
It's time.
Cup holders, seat warmers, sat nav, Bluetooth, gotta go for it.
So performance and luxury and amenities made this car work.
Yeah, that works here for me. Yeah.
I really like somebody that comes on the show. He's the first honest guy that's ever been on the Car Guy channel. Every other guy just lies like crazy. Cup holders, Bluetooth, and then performance.
Yeah, and it got me in trouble immediately because with the GTO, when the speedometer was right here, that was 60.
Yeah?
Because it went to 120. With this car, when it's right there, that's 80. According to the CHP, they pulled me over.
According to me, CHP had explained to him, the police officers had to explain to him how to read the odometer.
Yes, it's analog. I don't know analog.
So the odometer, so you get a police officer riding the car, tells you where the 80 is, and that's where you should not be.
That's where I should not be. Here's your ticket. Have a nice day.
Sign on the line, and this is where you go.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, the color, I don't think...
Well, it didn't come this color.
Well, this color is beautiful, and orange, I think, are great colors for me, but...
It was Hemi Orange, and they had that available, but they didn't have Sublime Green, and that's what I wanted. So I bought the car white and had it painted immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a repaint?
This is a repaint. Yeah, the car had 68 miles on it when it changed colors. How crazy am I?
Are you married? Are you married guy?
Yes.
He's a married guy, too.
And we were at the dealership, and I said, I'd like the Sublime Green. They said, we don't offer it in green. We're not going to offer it in green, And my wife said, well, you could always have it painted. And I said, that was a big mistake on her part.
Well, I think if you have a wife like that, your name's not Rush. Your name is Lucky.
Yeah.
I love car guy stories. When you find out earlier this car used to be white because he didn't come with the lime green, I'm telling you, it's about blowing out of the water. This is kind of a pretty cool car here to have over here at the Mountain View a la carte. And being an RT, being the repaint it was done, and the high quality, I didn't even bother to look at to find out all the changes to do on the color change. I'm telling you, it did stump me, and I don't get stumped too often. This is a pretty spectacular car, especially with that big bad boy Hemi under the hood. Very cool. Shake your hood. When I do a lot of these events, I meet I don't want to say old friends. How about if I say friends I've known for a long time?
Absolutely.
Introduce yourself to the show.
I'm Letha.
Hi, Lisa. And Sil, tell everybody your name's Sil.
My name is Sil Harris. ACA.
I gotta get, I've known this man for a long time.
Lord.
Great taste in cars. And what year caliber is this?
This is a 1988 Excalibur touring sedan.
And when did you pick this up anyway?
I bought this 3 years ago. Found it in Syosset, New York.
What a find. Remember, you called me up on the phone, asking questions, called me back, and you wound up writing a check, and you had the car shipped down here.
Yeah, and I got the check for Mike.
And the banker, how you doing?
I'm marvelous. Thank you very much.
The banker who wrote the check, that allowed Sil to write the check,
Absolutely.
that sent the check. Now, how do you like the car?
I love it. It's gorgeous. I just can't drive. It's too big for me. Sorry.
No. This car's a big girl.
Gorgeous.
There's no doubt about it at all.
Yeah, but I like the smaller ones, but I mean, I can drive it. I have driven, he's had other Excaliburs, and I was able to drive those that were smaller. But this guy has just so much on it.
Well, the car world, there's your Mustang crowd, there's your Chargers, we have the DeLoreans here, and then you bring a touch of class with the Excalibur. That's what this car world's really all about. The different stuff, the different hobbyists, the different, how do we say, the whole different interest in the car world. And Sil, I want to thank you for bringing the car in today.
Right. And I'm not driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah. He's always going to get smart ass on the show. Like I said earlier, get a lot of cars, different tastes, different personalities go with the cars. In an Excalibur car, these were kind of a reproduction of the Hollywood style car, is really what they did in the earlier years. They took a little bit of what the Mercedes-Benz would be in the earlier years, maybe to some cars like the Duesenberg, and how they really put together the Excalibur body. Now, these are very, very safe cars. Now, the inside cab is very, very small. They're pretty much condensed for a car that's large as this is. But this car is actually on a special custom chassis that is designed by General Motors. And General Motors did them for their trucks and some heavy-duty vans at the time, and they are with a 454 engine, and they have a turbo 400 transmission. So these cars are very dependable and very sturdy, and they're kind of like a truck chassis. They can ride a little bit on the stiff side, but they soften the shocks up a little bit to make these here a good driving car. There's a lot of bling to them and a lot of stuff, and I really think they really add a lot to any show. When these pull in, everybody looks. We're looking at cars, we're looking at things, then we're looking at cars, guitars, and we're looking at stars. How you doing there, Mark?
Hey, nice to see you, buddy. How you doing, Mike?
I had to pull Mark Fettichel over it all. If you guys remember from Dream Machines, all the bands, all the music, when you come to Mountain View a la carte, and if you enjoy the music, this is the guy that you need to thank.
I'm the announcer on the main stage.
Oh, he picks bands. He's one of those famous harmonic person basically in California. And we get some of these guys here. We got to get them on the show because people like Mark are people that make these shows work. What do you got?
I got a 72 Chevy pickup. I put a lot of work into. I've been doing body work. I've been doing the motor work. It's running pretty good.
And the guy said you got a 64 Chevy?
My best friend's got a 64 Chevy.
That's pretty
something
cool.
I've been working on since probably sophomore year in high school.
Two-door hardtop?
It's a four-door.
And four-door. I got some four-door 57 Chevys in my collection
Four-door's
now.
the way to go, really.
Four-doors work when you go out. If you trim them out, kind of cool. Hey, one of the shows we did a wagon for a guy. These guys are in kind of like a club. Pontiac station wagon, 4 doors. Because the two-door hardtops, the convertibles, let's face it, they're almost unbuyable. They're getting tough. Well, for the average guy, that's a lot of dough to start spending and stuff.
It's like the Del Rey.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Or a bubble top.
Hard to
409
find.
double top, 409 type stuff. Pretty big stuff. Hey, good. I got my orders of parts coming in. Let's make sure to get all you guys in there. We just got to let people know that, you guys aren't, I don't want to say, it sounds terrible, but you guys aren't the goofy parts guys. You know what you're doing. So if a guy calls up for a part, if you don't know exactly what he's talking about, you give him to someone who does, or they give him back to you. So I just kind of want people to know that. Hey, take care, bud.
All right, man.
fantastic T-Bird today, a gorgeous white one, the 55, and this happens to be another 1955 Thunderbird. The color of the car is absolutely spectacular. They kind of call it kind of a bluish color, but I'm telling you, it's really, really fantastic on it. I like it an awful lot. And Barry and Margaret bring this car to the event. I appreciate them showing up to Mountain View a la carte. Some changes I can see on the car. He's got an alternator, and that is a very, very smart move to make on it, and change it on over to 12 volts. That's very popular for a lot of these cars. That tells me that the guy's out there driving his car and he's using it. And I love the top on the car. Now you can tell it's an early top because it's not really a porthole window, and I like that a lot. It really feats. That's what a 55 had, was not the porthole tops. Being the two-tone on the colors, you kind of got a little bit of the Wimbledon white, and you got the, I call it a teal, which the real color is a blue color, and the inside is nice, and I'm telling you, it's pretty neat. But this car here happens to be a stick shift versus the automatic. A lot of them came that way. Some even came with 3 speeds and so on. This is really a neat car. I think it's gorgeous. Love the hubcaps. That stainless steel, they're polished up really right. Camera's going to go over this car and check it out. And Barry, thanks for bringing a nice car.
Well, I told Papa, don't you put me down, 'cause I'm doing that hand jive all around town.
Barn finds, classic and collectibles are really the big trend right now. And seeing a 1966 Chrysler Imperial, these luxury cars are really coming on strong with the collectability market, collector market. People want them, people like them. The front headlights with the gloss over them with the lens are just, it just really classes the car out. What was kind of neat about this, they bring the car in a period correct mode. Has the same patina, it has the look how you would see this car pretty close to 1966. I kind of thought it was kind of neat, wanted to show it to you. There might be a little bit of dirt and grime on it, but that's what this car here is all about. And I'm telling you, they're getting the car here going, pulling it out of the garage to bring it down is to show really what kind of classic cars they got and to get involved into the market. Kind of a cool car. Check it out.
I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Well, you never do nothing to save your doggone.
Here comes the Judge, 1970 GTO Judge. What a hot commodity, what a hot seller. These are automatic collectibles the day they were sold on the market. Judges had all different types of options that went with them. They had colors, they had graphics. The tack hood, they were absolutely phenomenal. And I cannot act like I don't know the car because we do know the car real well. My good buddy Lance is the owner to this, and he just loved these. He's a GTO guy. He's a gorgeous 66. We got to get on the show. But this car here is fantastic. He waited for it, found it, and he bought it. Brings it over to the shop. We went through the whole complete tune-up modes on the car, made it so it's a runner and a driver. The color on the car is fantastic. It went through a restoration, and all these stripes were all put on the car. Hood tack has been calibrated. New mirrors, the seats, we get to the inside of it. I can't say really enough about this car because I really like it. We went ahead and finished the tune-up on the car and did a lot of changes. Lance is really particularly likes things correct. I did a road test on it, and I'm telling you, I get out of the car, and it's just one of those cars that puts a smile on your face and said, let's do it one more time.
I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Oh, shake, rattle and roll.
How you doing? Mike Hennessy here.
Hi, Mike. John.
Hey, John.
How's it
We've
going?
been here a couple times, haven't we?
Right, yeah.
Now, I always pick this car because some people who watch the show happen to know some of my favorite cars. 37 Ford, which you know happens to be one of my favorite cars.
Right.
And I always like this car. Now, how long have you had this?
52 years.
One more time.
52 years.
52 years. He's had the car for 52 years. Now, if there's any awards handed out for the guy that had the car the longest, you could win.
I know, yeah. I bought it when I was 20, and I never screwed with it, touched it at that point in time, but then as I got close to retiring, I decided I better do it now before somebody else, the kids, take it over.
That can't happen.
And kids.
Oh, geez, you can't happen.
Great.
We're going to go around this car pretty quick, but I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite cars.
Well, I love you, darling. Come and go with me. Please don't send me way beyond the sea. I need you, darling. So come go with me. Come into
Young man, Mike Hennessy, how you doing?
Phil McNern, pleased to meet you.
Phil, how are you doing?
Wonderful, beautiful day.
And?
I'm Audi Macarino. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Now, you have the Mustang, correct?
Yes, I do,
And then
sir.
you got these two cars back in our background.
I do. This is my girlfriend. She takes all my money, and this is my work truck. Lets me make the money.
God, that's a. But what is it today? Like Honesty Day at Car Guy Channel? Now, I noticed the truck a lot when it came in, and the patina on it is that original feel. And now can I talk Car Guy for a second?
Sure.
I love the look of everything in the truck. How come we can't get some wheels that have the same effect?
Well, when I got the vehicle, it had aluminum rims, and they were in shoddy shape.
Yeah.
I wanted something that gave it the look of a farm vehicle or the trucks that built the United States.
Yeah.
That's them. So I wanted to give it a little, the truck feel. I didn't want to get too off course with it, and it's a work truck.
I have to ask, because you guys know I'm a truck guy. I got my truck at the other end over
absolutely.
there. And I brought Big Red down here, and I saw your truck. I love this truck. And the other thing is, now Pontiac Bonneville, you don't see a lot of Bonnevilles this nice out there. I mean, I don't. I mean, I see a lot of stuff, and there's all different, people who collect different cars. They're kind of a gaudy area, bigger. This car is straight as it gets, and I can see why you like this car.
I had some very good people working on it. They did some great body work to it. I tried to keep it as original as possible. I love the marquee.
Its car's only original once.
True.
Hey, tell us a bit about your Mustang.
It's 2014 Shelby GT 500, 700 horsepower, signed by Carroll Shelby. It is also signed by Alan Grant and Bob Barberon.
Oh, wow, good, very cool.
I track it. It's got almost 30,000 miles on it, so I use it. I'm a firm believer in drive your car.
Oh, we got to he has a radio voice, doesn't he?
He does.
Drive that car. I'm telling you, that's pretty cool stuff. And I saw some cars here today that people actually drive and use them. There's a GT over there that we actually do a lot of work for that client. He drives the crap out of that car. He was bragging about doing a road race with somebody here later today. And I don't know, there's some pretty neat stuff out there. And you guys use your cars, and that's kind of what I got both these guys on the show.
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? Lovers await the break of day. Why do they fall in love? Why does the rain fall from up above?
Hey, bud, Mike Hennessy here.
Nice to meet you, Mike. John Rice.
You got to tell him your name, John. That's a good thing. I told you earlier, and I mean, most people that know me, I'm an El Camino guy. Always have been. And I've always regretted selling a Dove Gray 59 El Camino that had a 409, probably wasn't original for the car, but it was really cool to try powered. It was many years ago, and every time I see one, I always go for it. And apparently your car won an award at one of my shows?
Yes, in 2010 or 11, I think we were down there in Hot Saturday nights when it was out at the fairgrounds.
Wow, Sue, that's a long time ago. My wife would go, wow, that was a long time back. Our 10th year's coming up here pretty soon.
Very nice.
It's to be held in September, but I'm telling you, did you do much to this car since I've seen it last?
I have done a lot to this car. I just rebuilt the front suspension, put a new sway bar in it, put a new carburetor on it. And a new windshield wiper motor because the other one didn't work. And every once in a while in California, for whatever reason, I don't know, it rains.
He drives his car in the rain. That just shows he should go work with our other buddies on the Bonneville, the other car. They drive their cars, and he made a point saying, we drive our cars. I love the color. I like the wheels. I like everything about it. You got the touch of custom in the inside, and I'm telling you, they're really a neat car. And it's really hard to find a good one, and this is not an insult to people who have them, and it's not an insult to you. These cars here were prone to rust because of design. The way the water would go ahead and settle into these chrome areas up in here is a very difficult car to really stay away from the rust world when you take them out of the elements, especially like the rain or other things, or even washing them. So when you see a spectacular one, there's a reason why. And to restore one, why they're so difficult, is because there's not a lot of reproduction parts.
Nope.
He's shaking his head agreeing with me. Not too many people agree with me, but he does. Let's check this car here out and see one of the cars here over at Mountain View a la carte and art.
Love can't be ashamed. I know of a fool you see. For that fool is me. Tell me why.
You know, I want to give you an award today, and it's mostly a verbal award for being on the Car Guy channel. You're the youngest car guy here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mike Hennessy, how are you?
Pretty good, Mike.
And your name?
Jason.
Jason, how are you?
Pretty good.
Jason brings his car in. This is absolutely, isn't it kind of neat to see people kind of have the same interest you do on this car?
Definitely. It's just great to see a lot of people coming out here and checking out the car and appreciating the stuff I did to the car, even though it's a little more modern compared to all the other great classics that are out here right now.
Oh, Resto Mods is safe. They're where they're at. You got fuel injection on here. I mean, you got a lot of neat stuff. This right here's to me. This is the way I would want my car. I would do this car.
Yeah, yeah. My wife picked the wheels, actually. She won the 20-inch rims on this one.
See, again, this is this has to be the honesty hour on the Car Guy channel, because he admits that his wife picked out the wheels for it, and that's a good thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, thank you for coming for today and support Mountain View Auto Cart. We're going to take the camera, go around your car. There's a lot of good stuff here today.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thank you.
Take care.
It's neat to see these younger guys getting involved with the classic cars and the interest of them, because sometimes some people could say it's kind of like it's phasing away. It's not phasing away. Go to meet guys like this is pretty cool. Check out.
Ain't that a shame? My tears fell like rain.
Mario, Mike Hennessy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. This is a fantastic event you put on every year.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
I was supposed to go to the Challenger up in Sonoma to watch Ferraris run, but I came down here. Especially for my buddy.
We both went ahead and dropped the Ferrari Challenge this week, and I had a couple of my Ferraris ready to go. Your car, Dr. Sullivan, we'll talk to him later, but we came down to have you bring your 55 Olds convertible.
That's my everyday driver.
You drive this car out every day?
Yes, sir, every day.
I think it's pretty cool the car guys do that. And, you know, I had you on. I told you it was going to be quick, got you out of the chair, and he's still okay about the Ferrari Challenge, though, aren't you?
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll catch it next time. How's that?
Next time. It sounds good.
You broke my heart.
Hey, Mike Hennessy here. How you doing?
Hi. Good.
And your name?
I'm John DeAngelis.
Hey, Don. How you doing? And I want to thank you for bringing your car. You got a 56 T-Bird here. First year at 12 volts, which I think makes him a great driver.
Yep.
And the color, you've modified this car to be a daily driver.
Yep.
I think that's pretty cool.
That's a good car. Good car.
I always like the unusual and the very cool cars. So this right here is a Corvair, 1962 Corvair, and these right here are turning out to be very, very collectible and very desirable and respected with a checkbook. When this car came in, you could barely hear it. When you check out the motor in it, it actually has 4 carburetors. This right here is a 140 horsepower car, and he did a few little changes that makes it really nice. He went ahead and put an alternator on the car. The early ones came with a generator. Alternator is really the way to go. Made it a nice driver. The red paint is absolutely gorgeous. The white top, you know, they have the flat 6-cylinder motor in it. Check this car here out. This is one of my favorite Corvair cars. When it came in, you could barely hear it, and it just ran just beautiful. Well, we're back to the starting point from where we started out. What a lot of cars and a lot of cool stuff. Some of the neat things was seeing a brand new car go into a paint shop, and you meet a lot of great car people having a lot of fun. A lot of really cool stuff. They cover a lot of vehicles here, and are really pleased with Tim Beeman having us come down here and going ahead and produce a show like this. A lot of things going on. San Jose Night's going to be one of our big events coming up. It's going to be September 8th. We're going to cover Reed Hillview Airport, and the date will be September 8th when everything will be happening. We changed the date a little bit because of the heat, and a little better time for the school time because we are involved with STEM. STEM is science, technology, education, and math. Covers a lot of pretty cool stuff, and I'd like to go ahead and thank everybody for coming involved and being at the show, watching your car on the show, and watching the Car Guy channel. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.
Ain't that